Hey guys, it's Shawn Ziem, the Connection Machine, aka the Insurance Doctor, and the host of the Webtalk Legends Podcast. Want to make sure that you jumping in right now, please don't forget, drop a comment. Where are you watching us from? Definitely sit back, enjoy your drink, whatever that is, whatever time frame that is in your neck of the woods. So we want to make sure that you are engaged. Drop a couple comments throughout. If you have questions, you will have comments. We love that. Just drop a couple pounds, drop a couple whatever you want to do to make that happen. So I want to bring on my guest, a good friend of mine. We've been collaborating over the years. Let me bring in Joe Scorese. What's going on, brother?
Hey, Shawn, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening. Where are you from? What area are you from? Because we have tons of people from all over the world going to be tuning into this.
Well, I'm technically a North Jersey guy. So I grew up in Kenilworth, New Jersey. Graduated back in '87 from David Braley Regional High School. Went on to Union County College in Cranford. Then I went on to Rutgers Newark University down in Newark, New Jersey. Graduated in '92. And then married, divorced, ended up in the Lehigh Valley. Met my second wife, my love of my life, and now I had an option to live in the Philadelphia market or live in the Philadelphia market or not live with my wife. So basically, we moved down to the Philadelphia market. In the past couple of years, we live right outside of Philadelphia, about 30 minutes out, about 40 minutes from Atlantic City.
Excellent. I appreciate you joining us tonight. I know we're going to talk about a variety of different things, topics, and those that are watching, we hope that you implement some of the things we talk about, some of the golden gems, nuggets, what have you, that we're going to talk about. We hope you share it. And if it works for you, definitely come back and drop a comment that you utilize some of the things we discussed. Because what are some things that you're involved in right now, Joe? So if you went to a networking event, how do you introduce yourself to another person when you meet them?
Well, I'm not saying I'm overly aggressive, but I'm not shy. So I'll definitely go up and introduce myself, ask them what people do, what they do, what they're doing here this evening, who's their ultimate referral. Obviously, I took a lot of Toastmaster courses in the past 25 years to give me a level of self-confidence. I've taken a lot of self-evaluation, transformational courses to kind of keep the mind in check. I have enough licenses to choke a horse in what I do, but having a lot of licenses doesn't always make you able to communicate well in a networking environment on a one-on-one or a group. So my thought pattern when I'm walking into an event, I'm the host of that event, and I'm going to do whatever I can do to network with the individuals, but then also hand them off to other people in the room, so I don't get too stuck with the one individual that's kind of trying to absorb my time. So I want to touch everybody in the room.
No, that's how it should be, and it's something that you're giving first. And you said something about the Toastmasters. What made you go and get involved with using their services?
Well, my pronunciation skills back in the day had a exaggerated vowel because of the North Jersey growing up. So I wanted to refrain that a little bit when I did my presentations, which I provide throughout the East Coast. I wanted to neutralize my vowel accentuation, and it was very helpful. And some of the networking techniques I trained with some really smart individuals, and really understanding how to perfect networking is an art form. It's not something you're born with. It's an art. You're given some brushes and paint, and now you got to build. You got to paint that picture. So it's an art form to, one, get to know someone quickly, get to know what they're about, exchange cards, and then hand them off to somebody else as you're introducing them to the next individual. You could keep moving through the room to continue that networking, and basically touch, move on to the individual, hand them off to somebody else, let them network, and then in introducing people, you become the talk of the room or the host of the room without taking the title.
And it's something that, like you said before, you don't get stuck with talking with one person all night long.
Yeah.
You're actually utilizing, working that time frame and getting to know others and showing others, look, I had a good connection with this person. Here's a handoff. Here's a little layup. Get involved in the conversation. Because some people don't have a clue when they go to these events. They just sit there, They're scared. They have the fear. They're going to sit there and drink or eat, and that's it. But you're supposed to go meet different people, and it's a great skill that Joe's sharing with you. A good tip: go meet people. Say, hey, I have somebody else to introduce you to, and you hand them off, and then you meet somebody else. So you control the room.
Well, another thing is I've taken a very conscious effort in my health, as we know. It's been very important. It's on the forefront. So a lot of people, they see me, they haven't seen me in several years due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and they're like, oh my gosh, what's going on, Joe? Because I was once 350 pounds. I'm officially just weighed in around 230. So it takes a lot of commitment. But when people see that, they want to know, they want to get the find out, what the hell have you done? I go through a little story about where it all started 3 years ago, and it's extremely, there's a dangerous part. I'm a stroke survivor because I was overweight. I didn't take care of my health, and I took the bull by the horns, made some promises to friends of mine that I cherish, and I'm not going to disappoint them. So the goal weight is to be my college weight by hopefully June 1st of this year, which would be roughly a little over 3 years from the stroke, and being weighing in around 195, but be fully recovered 100% from the stroke. And if you've seen me, and I know we met briefly a couple times in the past years, I'm half the man I used to be. Got another quarter to go, but it gives you a great a feeling when you're in the room and you're networking, your confidence level of just feeling healthy. Having, I don't have to drink. I have my club soda. I don't have to snack. I don't have to do anything. Like, it's just, I feel like I'm very comfortable in my skin. I don't feel insecure. Feeling healthy is half the battle of feeling secure when you're out there networking with people. And people love to talk about health. Yep. People love to talk about what is it going to take to get them healthier, because the healthier they are, the better they can provide whatever service they're providing and what they love talking about. So I love what I do, which is private lending. I kind of found my calling in the past couple of years. I was in regional banking for the past 20 years in the commercial residential space. But when Blackstone Capital came to me to in regards to Lending One, which they own Lending One, the opportunity presented itself to be a regional development manager for the East Coast. I mean, how do I turn down something I love doing? So I love being healthy. I love networking, and I love private lending, and I like talking about it. And I had to make a decision. Do I keep running my own events, or do I just be the network at others? And the decision kind of spoke for itself. I've built up a brand that I'm pretty much everywhere anyway.
Yeah.
So when I walk in the room, I'm the host of the event, whether I'm running it or not, and my confidence level is there. And you see me traveling to different places. I'm probably in a different place. Where's Joe Scorese today?
Yeah.
So I love what I do in the sense of that, because I love to travel. I love to go to different places and meet different people. I don't like to get stagnant. I don't want to see the grass grow under my feet.
Now, you said a lot of different things that I want to dive deeper into. And I want to say hello to, we have Scott Gerard, CEO of Webtalk Legends on from Australia. We have Margarita. Thank you very much for joining us. Guys, if you are watching from anywhere in the world, drop a comment. Don't forget, after the live, hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and please hit that share button. Now, having a stroke. I mean, thanks very much for sharing with, being transparent with us and vulnerable, because a lot of people keep things from others. I talk about with my daughter had a liver transplant. Going through that, what was the process? Did you have that stroke and then things started waking up for you as far as getting yourself healthy? Was it something you were starting earlier, had a stroke, and then really stepped it up a notch? Can you go down that path?
I wasn't feeling well. I thought it was the flu, and it just wasn't feeling right, and was ready to go to the doctors, and then all of a sudden I collapsed. Okay. And I woke up, my head all smashed up because I fell right on my head. Was in the hospital, was there within minutes, which was, thank God, I was very lucky. And I don't believe in luck. I believe in karma. I was destined to be there and be fine. Blood pressure was 250. Blood pressure currently 120 over 80. I go to the gym 4 to 5 days a week. Treadmill, weight training, probably do more than the average 52-year-old. And I took a homeopathic and a holistic approach to my recovery of health and maintenance of health, and focused on, I did a little over 50 sessions of the oxygen tank, the hyperbaric chamber. I've done vitamin C drip, probably a dozen of them, dozen colonics, dozen HOCAP machines where they magnetically draw the fats out of your liver and your kidneys to cleanse. I've done neurotransmittal stimulation to my brain. I've actually bought the equipment and got my wife certified in it. Gotten hundreds of different types of deep tissue massage to loosen up all the broken muscles. I don't find myself on a diet. I find myself in a lifestyle. So being on keto and being on intermediate fasting was just a correct decision to change my life. So I haven't had pasta, bread, potatoes, or anything like any hard carb in over a year and a half, 2 years. I don't eat past 5 o'clock. I don't eat before 12. Fasting is part of my lifestyle. I fast typically on average 19 hours out of a 24-hour day.
Wow.
So fasting is extremely important. I don't believe, I know a lot of people have a lot of different beliefs and, what we've gone through in the past couple of years, but I think if fasting was part of it, I think there'd be a lot more healthier individuals out there, not concerned about a supposed virus, but just being caught up in how healthy they feel and how clear thought, the clarity is amazing. So, to be able to talk with you this evening at 8:30 in the evening, very clear and with a lot of clarity is beautiful, just to have a very comfortable conversation. And it doesn't always have to be about what we do as a profession, because people want to feel comfortable who they work with. So they rather know a little bit about you first before they dive into revealing everything on a personal level and what aspirations they have.
Right. And you have, and I appreciate you sharing that, and health is wealth. I believe that as well. The more healthier you're going to get yourself, the more money you can actually make, because now you're going to have more energy. You're going to be able to have the endurance to work longer. You're going to have the more motivation. You're going to have those days you might not want to make calls. You're going to get fired up because you have those endorphins going through your body, because it's something that is important for me and is important for you and those that are watching. Getting yourself moving, even in early on in your day, will help you get started. But the commitment, the consistency, that's lacking. And I love how you said it, a lifestyle. You have to have a lifestyle. You don't have a diet. You don't just work out. You have to ingrain this. It's a great habit to have. Yeah. Eating right, drinking the water daily, getting some kind of movement. I don't care what it is, but get yourself moving and allow you to get yourself into the best shape of your life. And it's awesome what you've been doing, because then you can hear it, the passion, the enthusiasm that you have. It's just the positivity. You've been through a darkness. Now you're living the dream. So I applaud you.
Yeah, thank you. And the accountability that you get from taking a hold of your lifestyle in a healthy way, from a job perspective as well, because in the direct private lending space, I'm literally taking a phone call from a different client every 10 to 15 minutes. That's from 7:30 a.m. till about 5 o'clock, whether I'm on the road or I am in front of my laptop. And that takes a lot of focus, a lot of concentration. You can't really have a bad day, meaning you have to really eat right, think right, motivate yourself. I'm at the gym by 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm hitting the laptop by 7:30. I'm ready to rock and roll, and I'm ready to hopefully give feedback and hopefully direction and strategy in my world. Because in my area of direct private lending, which is much different than banking or hard money, we're strategists. So it's not something that somebody that's only been in the business a couple of years. You have to have 20 plus years in this business to understand all the mistakes, all the successes, all the misdirections, all the misevaluations, and try to protect that individual with yourself. You're kind of like, you're their knight in shining armor, in moving forward and scaling up their real estate portfolio.
Definitely want to go into more detail on that. And I want to thank Daniel from White Trash Connection. He just joined us from Michigan. So thank you so much, guys, that are watching. Drop a comment where you're watching from. Anything you want to share with us or questions, definitely drop them in the comments. And it's something that with the beneficial, I just brain fart, you're talking about.
It happens when you get old.
Differences in, now we have residential. You have people that are buying properties with FHA, conventional type of products. You have the hard money, and now you have the direct private lender. Can you give an understanding for everyone that's watching the differences that we might be encountering in those platforms?
Yeah, sure. So hard money has been around for about 25 years. Banking has been around for hundreds of years, just regular bank financing. Private lending has been really around for the last 10 years. And it's completely funded by Wall Street money. So hedge fund money, Blackstone acquired us, obviously. So we're now the elephant in the room. We plan on putting out about $3 billion worth of money in regards to new construction, fix and flip, fix and hold, multifamily bridge, multifamily 30-year fixed money, rental money, whether it's a rental refinance or purchase. We're going to do 30-year fixed. Everything's done in the LLC. We also extend a revolving construction line of credit for more active borrowers. We'll even look at blanket loans or portfolio loans for clients. We'll look at non-recourse or recourse lending. So we're really looking at somebody that wants to take their portfolio from 1 unit to 3,000 units for that matter. We don't really have a cap. Like this past month, we closed a $35 million transaction and we closed a $100,000 transaction. We don't discriminate against each one. We treat them all the same way. We push that loan file through. And we're asset based. We're really looking at the debt service coverage ratio of the property. We're not very concerned about your tax returns. We're just making sure that they're filed. We want to see a credit score of 680 credit score or better, because we want a viable borrower. So there's certain things we need, but it's not as strenuous or constrained as the banking environment right now. And where banking is getting more constrained over the past quarter, the private lending lane is looking much more promising to get 30-year fixed money, where banks are only providing 5-year fixed money on a 20 or 25-year amortization. We're fully fixed on a 30-year. Then on the hard money side, they're charging rates anywhere between 9 and 12%. We're somewhere between 7 and 8% on rehab money. So, and our origination, since we're direct lenders, our origination is roughly between 1 and 1.5 on any one of the loans. So where a lot of lenders that are out there that are either third party or wanting to gouge, they're charging anywhere between 2 and 3 points. I'm over here with 1.5 points. So my origination's less, my pricing is better or as good, and my amortization and my programs are more wider for most of the lenders that are out there.
And a lot of the events that you're at that you talked about prior are more of the investing, teaching, strategies, tips. What are some ideas, some things that are thrown out there is the Burr method, talking about buying, refinancing, or rehabbing, refinancing, renting, and then redoing.
So it's the Burr strategy, which I actually have a club on Clubhouse. And you're more than welcome to join us, Shawn, anytime to provide insurance insight on Saturday and Sunday mornings. It's called the Creative Burr Strategy Club. I established it about a little over half a year ago. We're close to 10,000 followers in the club. But what it signifies is that we're trying to bring a very high-level, integrous environment of networking, education, and creating some opportunities, because there's a lot of questionable, non-integrous individuals out there in our field, as we know, Shawn. Yes. And we're battling that every day. We're trying to catch the individual before they get caught in some type of what we say questionable or Ponzi-like environment. So we want to provide a consistent educational piece every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Sunday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have very selective criteria for my moderators. We're very careful who we allow up in the audience room. Our theme and our goals there is to provide a very consistent tone of opportunities to provide a very solid educational piece. Complimentary. Now, again, we're all service providers, so we do expect hopefully some indirect lead generation, which comes in a consistent manner. But it's a nationwide approach to what we're doing. I'm talking to people throughout the entire 50 states of the country, Canada, Europe. They know my name. So think about this. I'm doing a loan in Alaska, and somebody said, wait, I heard your name. Where did I hear your name? How did you hear my name? I'm doing a loan in Hawaii. Well, how do you know? How do I know your name? So the Clubhouse doesn't immediately give you business, but it gives you brand awareness, which is more important to me.
I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of the guests recently are not on that platform, and I was on the platform, and I go on it every once in a while. Someone will
I
ping
see
me.
you. I see you hovering around the bottom every once in a while. I try to invite you up, and then you
Yeah,
disappear on me.
I listen a little bit, and sometimes the girls get involved, and I'm like,
Got
dang.
it.
But now with Clubhouse, can you share with those that are watching? What is the benefit with Clubhouse? It's more of if you've never been on it, and just like Web Talk guys, it's you have to invite only. You
Yeah.
have to get invited with somebody in there already, and I think it's with all the phones as well. You can go.
Well,
Can you
yeah.
go on
Now
a
you don't have
laptop?
to invite people. Now everybody can just sign on themselves.
Oh, okay.
Listen, like any part of the real estate industry, there's always going to be questionable people. You're going to have to sift it out for yourself. I'm not going to tell you which rooms are bad, which rooms are good. Hopefully, you have some really good common sense and you could smell it out yourself how bad one is compared to the other. But I could tell you when you come to our rooms, we have licensed and certified professionals in their field. I've built very solid relationships with these individuals throughout the country. I have visited them and have met them personally, and I look forward to meeting more of them in person. And it's a different type of meeting when you meet some of these people.
Right.
They're like, oh my God, I'm meeting you in person. Like, oh my goodness, this is fantastic. It goes so dynamic. So I've had some local brunches, Clubhouse brunches where I've invited some people in. I'm actually holding a landlord expo with a colleague of mine, Jerome Lewis, in May to discuss landlording and licensing and things of that nature. So that might be something, Shawn. I'd love to invite you to present, builder's risk and commercial insurance policies there. We're having it on May 21st and 22nd, but I'm holding a happy hour on the 20th. And I'm inviting Clubhouse individuals from all over the country. We're going to have this happy hour. They're going to come to the events. The Clubhouse, some of the Clubhouse influencers are going to present either Saturday or Sunday. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you know what? I feel great about it. You know what I mean? I'm meeting people from all over the country that I would never meet in any other format other than Clubhouse.
I agree. I mean, using social media, using Clubhouse, and then taking those people, I love it. I used to do it consistently before COVID hit. I used to take people online, offline, and you would walk in, I would walk in a room and they're like, I already know you. And I'm like, I know that because I do a lot of video. I do a lot of, value added stuff instead of just me, or pitch product or pitch service all the time. I like to teach others. And then when they meet you, you're like a celebrity, and it's true because you build your brand, and no matter what you're involved in, we all have our own brand, and we have to continue thinking about that when we're out in public because you never know who you're going to meet and who that's going to lead to. It's so powerful. And go ahead, Joe.
Like I just did a presentation last night in Allentown, about 50 people in the room. At least 12 of them said, man, didn't I hear you on Clubhouse? Didn't I hear you on a podcast? Didn't I see you speaking at an event? Am I connected with you on Facebook? Am I connected with you on LinkedIn? A little secret, I have actually 3 profiles on Facebook. 2 of them are full to 5,000. The third one is now getting close to 1,000 people. And I will always welcome individuals, as long as they're not bots or anything like that, to connect with me. I don't care if you're a loan officer. I don't care. Listen, your only competition, Shawn, is the mirror.
Exactly. Why? And I'm seeing a lot of other people popping in Silver and Gold Solutions, Margarita, Rising Entrepreneurs. We appreciate you. I was in a conversation yesterday, and it was an insurance provider, a broker. He does New Jersey and Florida, and I reached out and I connected with him on Facebook, and he's like, at first was like, how come you're reaching out to me? I'm like, I don't do Florida. I need a connection in Florida. But I'm like, we can collaborate. We can make things happen. We don't have to be competitors because I believe just like you. I look in the mirror. That's who I'm competing against. I don't care about anybody else. I work with State Farm. I work with all state agents. If they can't get it done, they call me. That's how powerful you keep thinking about helping others first. That's why I bring people on this, because it's important to provide, share your story, talk about things, and people resonate with you. They get to know you. That's the important thing of why we use social media.
And I have people that feel comfortable like coming to me to bounce things off of me. I mean, listen, I've been in business a little over 23 years, been through physically, mentally, through at least 4 different impactful cycles within real estate over my lifetime. And I'm seeing one in front of us now. So, like I said, I mean, it's good to be the chameleon. It's good to be a source. But I could tell you for a fact that, again, there is no competition out there. There's so much business to be had. You just have to be in front of it. You got to be consistent. You got to be continuous with your branding and your theming of marketing through social media. I mean, you see, there's posts that go up every single day. Every time in the morning, it's motivation. Midday is inspiration. Halfway during the day is education. And then if there's any follow-up, it's destination. So it's anywhere between 3 or 4 posts. And that's consistent Monday through Sunday. Okay? Monday through Sunday. Now, I don't take off on Sundays. The posts still go up.
Did you listen, guys? This is value. People are like, "Oh, I'm just going to I don't know what to post." And I agree with you. Motivation every morning. I wake up at 5:30 in there. I'm doing a post for motivation. It's every single day, no matter what. And I always do something that's a quote. And now I recently have been creating, I created a template on, what was it? I want to give value, Fonto. I have a already colorful green with my website on the top. I have my YouTube channel. I have my Webtalk, and I put my quote in the middle. And I do that every single morning. It takes me 2 seconds to do and find. And I'm motivating and myself, one, but also that one other person that's following what I'm doing. But just like Joe said, motivate at early morning, inspire. I love it. What was the educate? And then you have
destination.
Where, like, what do you mean about that?
Well, I like to let people know where I'm at. I like to give credit to either the restaurant facility or the organization and thanking them for holding the event. Because you know what? Nobody did that for me.
Yeah.
And guess what? Was it nice? Was it not nice? I don't really care. But you know what? I'm going to do that because the host or the hostesses of that event are going to appreciate that. And they're going to welcome me back either to present, to be in company of, welcome me just to be present. That's all I want. Listen, you give me a room of 30 or 40 people, I'll walk out with everybody's business card one way or another. That's the end game.
You said something important there. Wherever you go, guys, you take a picture and you check in. I went to New York City today and I watched Hamilton with my wife. And we had a number of, I didn't talk about insurance today. It was in my feed was my wife. It was a day date. It was Hamilton. And I checked in. You do the same thing wherever you go, event, check in. So people see where you are. If you want to hyper local your area, go to your favorite restaurant, help them out. You might have a following. People are going to go there because of what you've been there before. Help. That's the mindset we should all have.
I really appreciate that. It's hard to identify and put your finger down right on what the motivating factor is. But, being a survivor of something, I feel like I'm almost near like a Marvel comic. I'm like the Wolverine. My daggers come out when I'm out in the networking room. So, I feel like I'm looking out for people under their wing when they're having a little hard time doing the networking. I'll put them right in front of people. Like I have a good friend of mine that he really wasn't an extrovert at all. Now he's going to events without me. He kind of, but he still gives me recognition. Hey, Joe, I'm out here networking, trying to keep up with you. Hey, listen, don't worry about keeping up with me. Keep up with just keeping up.
Yes.
Be consistent whatever you do. Don't network for one day and then forget about it for 2 weeks. Don't market social media for one day and then forget about it 2 weeks. It's every single day of consistency is going to win you the game. The turtle always beat the hare. That's my thoughts.
You said that. Silver and Gold Solutions said consistency is key and moving forward in a positive direction, even if it's a small incremental steps. So true. Whatever it is. I've been doing the video since 2018. Did I like video early on? I was like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I doing this? But I knew how powerful it is. And I've done thousands. I have a YouTube channel. I'm trying to educate and help others. And I know how powerful this platform is. But so many people are afraid of it. there's a fear of doing what we just did for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's end on that. What are some tips you can share with others to get them in front of the camera to share their story?
You're no longer in high school. You're no longer. Don't worry about the high school bullies you had, the people that you picked on or they picked on you. It's all done. You're an adult now. Get past your high school. Get past your grammar school. It's kind of funny. One last thing I'll tell you. It was really funny. I got a private message from my high school math teacher, who I'm connected with on Facebook, and I said, "So did you ever really think I was going to be any good at math?" And I said, "Because look who I work for." And she's like, "Joe, the one thing you had more than anybody else was determination." And I got past my high school times and became myself. And so the minute I got comfortable with me, that's when I really started seeing the success. Don't let any of your younger years, any of your past hold you back. There is no reason to allow that to happen. And especially if you're a survivor of a stroke like myself, guess what, man? Every day is precious. Every day is. I could have been a vegetable. I could have been dead. So to me, I love what I do. I love providing hopefully some inspiration, and I hope I can be part of your motivation and education going forward. That's all I got to say.
Well said, well done, and I agree. Become comfortable being uncomfortable and watch how that will change your entire life. That'll just be the most important. You'll see people will be like, wow, there's a major change because you're doing things like we've just talked about. Do things that others are not doing. You want to copy other people, do it. That's fine. Start changing the game. Start doing something different and watch how things are going to fall in your lap. And it's not luck. It is karma. I definitely agree with it, with what Joe said early on. So, Joe, I appreciate you dropping massive, massive value today for everyone today and those that are on the replay. Hashtag replay if you're on the replay and where you're watching from. We have some other comments popping in real quick. Great, from one Joe to another Joe. Joanna's from Joyful Journey. So thanks so much for being here, everybody. And till the next one, if you're looking to join and be a guest, please reach out to me. We also have Silver and Gold Solutions. Appreciate you sharing, Joe and Shawn. 5 stars. Thank you so much. And till the next one, we'll be here, and reach out to me and we'll have the next guest. And they keep coming in. Here's Rising Entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for sharing. And that's Scott Gerard, CEO of Webtalk Legends. Thank you very much for everyone there and for your time. And we'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.
Thank you, Shawn.